All right, so in my last video, I broke down what rental cash damming is and how it can be a powerful tool to help pay off your mortgage in record time. So if you haven't seen that video yet, go back to my page, check it out. It will help you understand more of what I'm going to be discussing here today. And where I'm going to go into is diving a little bit deeper and show you how this strategy can be applied specifically when you have a primary residence with a rental suite or separate dwelling on your property that's generating income. And if you stick around till the end, I'm going to go over a real live deal that will show you how crazy these numbers are when you're running this strategy. So if you don't already know, my name is Brandon Van Dyke, and I'm a mortgage strategist located in Langley, BC. I've been helping Canadians across Western Canada by implementing these advanced mortgage strategies that can save you thousands over the life of your mortgage. Here's the thing. So most people don't realize that if you're renting out part of your home, like a basement suite, carriage house, or even a laneway home, a portion of your mortgage is already tax deductible. And this is because that part of your property is being used to generate income. So most people, even if they aren't implementing rental cash damming, don't have their mortgage structured separately to have that rental portion that is already tax deductible. But with the right structure and the right strategy, you can take that small deductible portion and expand it until your entire mortgage becomes tax deductible. That is the power of rental cash damming. The first step to this is going to be separating your mortgage into those two components, one tied to your personal living space and one tied to that rental portion. The easiest and most accepted way to do this is by using square footage. For example, if your suite makes up 1,000 square feet of your 4,000 square foot house, 25% of your mortgage can be attributed to that space. And that portion is already tax deductible because it's tied to that income producing portion of your property. Now, here's where the magic happens. To take full advantage of the strategy, you need the right mortgage structure, specifically one with a readvanceable line of credit that is tied to your primary portion. This is the type of mortgage that includes a line of credit and grows as you pay down your loan. And here's the catch. Not all lenders offer this setup. Only a select few will allow you to split your mortgage into these separate components and give you that readvanceable line of credit tied to the main portion. That's why it is important to work with a professional who knows which lenders to work with and how this structure works properly. Once it's all set up, this is how you actually implement rental cash damming. You're going to take that rental income you receive each month and use it to prepay down the personal portion of your mortgage. This brings down that principal faster than your regular payments would. And as this happens, your readvanceable line of credit will grow dollar for dollar. Then you reborrow that same amount you just paid down and use it to pay for those mortgage costs tied to the rental unit. This is where having the separate mortgage components comes into play. Now, since that portion of your mortgage is already income generating from using that borrowed money from that line of credit tied to your primary mortgage to pay off all those rental expenses, the interest from that part also becomes tax deductible. And over time, what's happening is that more and more of your personal mortgage is being converted into tax deductible investment debt. And eventually you can turn that entire mortgage on your principal residence into a tax deductible investment loan. Now let's go over an example here on my calculator to show you some of these numbers. All right, so in this scenario using this calculator, we're first going to go through this, put all of our information in. Total square footage of home is going to be 4,000. Primary portion is going to be 3,000 of square feet of that. Rental portion is 1,000. So you have 75% of this house is your primary residence. 25% is your suite. So the value of this home, we're going to put 1.5 million. Total mortgage required 1.2 million. 80% loan to value. Now we've broken up this mortgage into two segments. You have your $900,000 segment for your primary portion of it, which is non-deductible debt. This is the debt that you want to run that rental income through to turn this debt into tax deductible debt. Here you have your mortgage segment 2. This is the portion tied to that rental portion, which is already tax deductible investment debt. So primary value, 1.125 million, rental value, 375,000. Those are your two separate mortgage components. Scotia does this, Manulife. These are the best products that you can use to do this strategy with. Now we're going to go into the calculator. So this is going to show you on the left side here, your primary portion and your rental portion, all separated. Your mortgage payments for your primary portion is going to come to $4,511. This is with a 4.45% interest rate, 30-year amortization. This is the line of credit that's attached to it. Your total balance when you've moved all that money into that line of credit to make it tax deductible, that balance at the end is going to be $439,000. That's when you've moved all your debt into that line and becomes fully tax deductible. Your rental property, mortgage balance of $300,000, 4.45% interest rate. Your total mortgage payment is going to come to $1,503 a month. That is including your insurance and your property taxes. This is all put in the calculator as well. We'll generate that percentage. So this is technically 25% monthly of your property taxes. So your total monthly cost is going to come to $1,618. Now, this basement suite, let's say you're making $1,800 a month on it. This is the rental income you're going to generate, which you're going to prepay into your primary residence and then reborrow it from that line of credit to cover the rental expenses on that portion of that mortgage. So the numbers that this is going to produce, so this is going off a 30-year amortization. You're going to be able to pay off this mortgage in 23.42 years. So almost 7 years sooner than you would have if you weren't implementing this. That debt conversion, this is the amount of time it takes to move all that money into that line of credit. That's 15.83 years. Then that is when it becomes fully tax deductible and you're generating those refunds, which you're also prepaying into your mortgage. This is going to come to a total tax refunds of $106,000. That's what you'll get back on your tax return over those 23 years, which you will take and further pay into your mortgage. That's a total payments reduced by 80. Total savings of future payments of $360,943. That's the amount of payments that you would have had to make that you're not making anymore, which would come to $601,572 of pre-income tax savings. So to make these payments, you would have had to make $601,572 because you pay your mortgage with after-tax dollars. This shows what it'll produce, and those numbers speak for themselves. Now, after seeing those savings that Cashdamming can produce, I've shown you how to use your rental income not just to offset your costs, but how to convert non-deductible debt into investment debt, which will generate tax refunds each year. And if you take those refunds and you pay them back into your mortgage, it will save you thousands on interest. So if you've got a suite, a basement rental, or any income producing unit on your property, this strategy could be a total game changer for you. If you want help setting this up the right way, or even just want to see if you qualify, reach out anytime. I'd love to walk you through it and help you make your mortgage work smarter for you. Hit that like button and subscribe for more advanced mortgage strategies that will do way more than any interest rate.